What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here on Madden 25 here for another new look rebuild. We have 8 of these left to do, and we find ourselves back in the NFC West as they are going to be doing a new look Arizona Cardinals rebuild in Madden 25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're also currently on the road to 10,000 subs, so you want to help us reach that goal, that would be amazing. But today we have the Cardinals on tap, as I mentioned. 8 of these new look rebuilds left to do, and this is what it's currently looking like. So we got Kyler Murray under center as a star dev 80 overall quarterback. Would not remotely surprise me if he is not the starter by the end of the video, but we shall see. We got Marvin Harrison at wide receiver 1. We got Zay Jones, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, obviously one of the better young tight ends in the league. And you got a couple decent offensive linemen on the defensive side, and then James Conner, of course, at running back. Defensive side of football, this is where they made kind of the new changes. So they obviously signed Josh Sweat. They have Jordan Birch, who they drafted in round 3. We got Walter Nolan, who they drafted in round 1. You still have Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson. And then they got Will Johnson in round 2, of course, which I'm going to try to push him up the depth chart because obviously before the injury, I believe Will Johnson was supposed to be a really good corner, like going round 1 or whatever. But for this season, I'm going to just simulate as is. I'm not going to touch anything. I just want to see if this team makes the playoffs or not. My gut feeling is that we won't make it, but I'd love to be, wrong and we do make it. So we'll see what happens. I will simulate to the end of season 1. We'll see if this Cardinals team has what it takes to make the playoffs with Kyler Murray still as the starter. So I went ahead and simulated to the offseason because we finished up at 5-12 and did not have ourselves a good season whatsoever. It's kind of what I expected, to be honest. So I'm not too shocked, but I do want to see how Kyler Murray and everyone else played to kind of evaluate a little bit further. So the Bills did beat the Vikings in the Super Bowl, but here were your stats. So offensively, we were 31st in the NFL, which is just obviously not good. And on the defensive side of the football, we were okay, I guess. So Kyler was 17-18. Well, I didn't think I'd be moving on from him this quickly, but if this is the kind of stats he's going to put up, I know playbook change could help him, but he's already an 80 overall anyway, star dev. I just don't really see how much better he's going to get for us. So, well, he could get better, don't get me wrong. I think Kyler Murray's a good quarterback, but I don't know. I feel like Kyler Murray and the Cardinals maybe should have parted ways a year or two ago, and it just hasn't happened, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. 9 touchdowns, 1,000 yards from James Conner. 900 yards from Marvin Harrison, 600 from Trey McBride. Just not a good overall season whatsoever, honestly. We want to get Marvin Harrison more involved and have him, up there in the upper echelon with the other wide receivers. So 11.5 sacks from a rook, though, so that's at least exciting to see. And then 3 from Budda Baker, 3 from Garrett Williams, as far as interceptions are concerned. But I'm kind of excited for this offseason because there's going to be a reset of changes around here. So let's see how we're going to do things. So we got Zay Jones, Greg Dortch, Vernon, we got Royce Newman, and then Jacoby Brissett and Chad Ryland. So I guess I'll go ahead and re-sign my kicker if I can. Chad Ryland is back, and then we'll re-sign Greg Dortch as well. So try to bring him back if we can. Only 27. He says no. Okay, so $77 million in cap space. Of course, this first free agency period isn't going to help us very much. It's going to be the draft that ultimately helps us. And what I'm going to try to do is pick up some extra draft picks for Kyler Murray. Is there an out on his contract already? Let me see if there is. So go look at salaries, savings. No. Okay, that's not Kyler Murray. Where's Kyler Murray? Okay, so he's got 4 years left on his deal. He's 28 years old, 82 overall. But just based off that season, I kind of want to move on from him. So I think that's what we're going to start this offseason. We're going to trade Kyler Murray away. I have to assume we have a good draft pick that's going to be able to land us a quarterback in this draft. So whether it's Garrett Nussmeier or one of the other options. So we have the 5th pick. We'll have to see what that nets us. But I'm going to hope to pick up at least a 3rd for Kyler Murray if we can. He didn't play that great, but still a guy that could start for some team that maybe wants to take a flyer on him. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this trade with the New York Giants. This is a lot more than I should be getting, but if the Giants feel like, Kyler Murray is their guy, then sure, why not? I know they just drafted Jackson Dart, but they're willing to offer me Drew Phillips in a second. I know the Jaguars are offering me Travis Hunter, obviously, but that just feels way too unrealistic. Don't be wrong, this one's pretty unrealistic too, but this one is super unrealistic, even though, like I said, a lot of these are unrealistic. I'm still going to go ahead and do this trade. So we get a 2nd in Drew Phillips. It gives us a good corner and a 2nd round pick for Kyler Murray. Really can't be too upset with that, and the Giants maybe have their quarterback finally. So whether maybe they're not ready to start Jackson Dart, who knows? But whatever it is, it's not my problem anymore. So now we have James Conner has also regressed down like crazy, which he often does tend to Madden. So releasing him doesn't do anything for us though. He probably will start next year, I assume. We'll see. So we got Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride. So I guess if there's anything we can go sign in the free agency period, it would be offensive lineman. Nolan being superstar X Factor out of the gate is awesome. I love that. But we pick up another corner, and obviously we're kind of deep at corner, which I like. Another middle linebacker wouldn't hurt if we wanted to go for something like that. I like the pass rushers we have with Baron Browning still here as well. Ojulari behind. So we're going to go into free agency, see if there's anything worth taking. But I think the main thing was obviously, trading away Kyler Murray. And I feel decent about what we got in return, even though I don't expect that to be the case for them in real life if they did trade him, especially after a season like he just had for us. So you have Trent Brown, Rondell Moore. It's going to be Rondell Moore back to Arizona. There really isn't anybody, honestly, of interest to me here. I'm not going to lie. So I don't think we're going to sign anybody in free agency. I simply think we're just going to head straight to the draft. I don't want to sign Bobby Wagner. I don't want to sign. I don't really want. I mean, I guess we could sign Juwan Bentley. I mean, this would be the one guy that I guess would, give us a start at the middle linebacker spot. But he also is not interested in coming here. So if he doesn't choose us, it's fine. I mean, he may choose us, but he does have 3 other offers, and he does choose other teams. Okay, that's fine. So I'll just head to the draft. We'll start there. Obviously, quarterback's going to be our round 1 pick, but after that, we'll see what else we decide to grab. All right, so let's go ahead and see if one of those quarterbacks do fall to us. So, I mean, the Panthers, I mean, the teams in front of us all have quarterbacks, but not guys like the Jets obviously have Fields, so who knows if they're comfortable with him going forward. The Panthers have Bryce Young, so hopefully they won't take Nussmeier or whatever, but we'll see how the draft board falls. It's going to be TJ Parker, Garrett Nussmeier does go, so the other quarterback option still on the board. Ruben Bain goes to the Colts. Okay, so we have Drew Aller. I know there's another option too, right? So there's Caleb Downs, or is it just Drew Aller? I thought there was a different quarterback maybe that we could take, but I mean, we don't have a starting quarterback right now, so there's Sellers in Jalen Green as well. Taylor Green, not Jalen Green, but Drew Aller. I've had him in a video before, obviously Penn State quarterback. I mean, I don't really know how good of a prospect he will be once he does enter the draft, but do we want Sellers or do we want Drew Aller? I think they're both great, so I don't think you can go wrong with either. I am going to go ahead and take Lenore Sellers here with the 5th overall pick. I don't know if this is a reach. It probably is, but I'm going to go ahead and take the quarterback I want. I didn't want Drew Aller, so we get Lenore Sellers. I mean, 88 speed, excels at mid-range throws, feels pressure and delivers under fire, turns scrambling into back-breaking plays, which is kind of what we wanted. We wanted a guy that could do stuff like that. So, like that first pick, we got our quarterback to replace Kyler Murray. Now we go to round 2. So we have 2 highly touted round 2 picks, which is great. So I think the first thing we should try to grab is a Drew Aller fell to this part. Oh my gosh. So we could grab Bernard out of Alabama, which I don't hate. We also have James Smith and Hicks. So I do think getting our new quarterback another weapon does not sound too bad. So Bernard, only good speed, but I know he's a solid player, so I'm going to bring him in here. So Jermaine Bernard, we're going to give our new quarterback another weapon. 92 speed, hidden dev, can't be too mad at that. And then the other thing I was going to say is I'd like to give my quarterback some protection on that offensive line if we can. So let's go see what is available to us. Whether it's a guard or a tackle, I will go ahead and I guess be okay with it. So Joe Brunner out of Wisconsin's fine and all, but I kind of wanted a left tackle. You have Micah Morris and Zach Rice as well, which both guys that could plug in. And you got Riley Mahlman. So as far as offensive tackles, I think those are kind of gone. So if we want an offensive lineman here, it's probably going to be a guard if we wanted one. So I do think I'm going to come down the board and take Micah Morris out of Georgia. A impact blocking, a run block gives us another. Well, actually, yes. I mean, not that we need speed necessarily on the offensive line, but I mean, it kind of does come in handy a little bit. So let's see if there's a little bit of a better speed guy, I guess, at the offensive lineman spot. Don't know if I've ever taken this guy before. Speed is poor as well, though, so I'd probably steer away from that. Let's go to right guard then. I know Zach Rice is solid, so maybe we just, settle with him out of North Carolina. Impact block, speed is decent. At least it's better than poor. So we'll go Zach Rice. Zach Rice will get another offensive lineman. Maybe move him to tackle. We'll see. But can't be too upset with that. We'll make this last pick in round 3. So a little bit of a retool. So round 3, what do we want here? I guess middle linebacker would be nice if there was one to take. I don't know if there would be, though. So let's see what is available to us. We have York and then Samuel. I do believe Samuel has good coverage skills. So maybe he is the guy here. A-zone, speed's elite. Yeah, I think we take Samuel here and play him inside. So we'll take him. 94 in true value. Feeling pretty good about that. 86 speed. We'll play inside for us. And that will be our draft. So not a bad start, I would say. Still need a little bit more. But overall, I think the draft went pretty swimmingly well. So here is your lineup going into season number 2. So we got Lenore Sellers at quarterback with Trey Benson as the starting running back right now with James Conner still here. Bernard, Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, Williams, Zach Rice, Frohold, and then you got Brown and Paris Johnson. So that looks good. On the defensive side of the football, we have Jalen Thompson, Sweat, Gaither, I should say. But I'm going to go ahead and start Samuel next to Mac Wilson. That Zaven Collins, Browning, Laurie. We got Jelani McDonald they drafted, I guess, for us as well. Buda Baker. We got Drew Phillips, Garrett Williams, or however, I think it's Garrett Williams. And then Will Johnson's bearing the depth chart right now, but Walter Nolan, Tomlinson, Bilal Nichols. So definitely need to add some more defensive linemen going forward after this. But I think I'm going to leave the defensive scheme the same because I believe Jonathan Gannon, actually, no, I don't believe. I know he is. He's more of a defensive mind anyway. And I think for the offensive scheme, well, we're going to figure out what we want to run, but I'm not really sure what we're going to run yet, but we'll figure it out. So, what offensive playbook do I want to run with? Where's Sellers? Question. Maybe I just go Kansas City's and just see what that, does. So we'll go Andy Reid's playbook, see if that gives our quarterback an advantage. Get Marvin Harrison and Bernard, I assume, is a slot wide receiver. And whoops, that's not one. Slot. There we go. Specialist. I'm going to throw Bernard at the slot. So I'm going to see you guys at the end of year number 2. Expecting a little bit of a better season. Will we make the playoffs? That I don't know. But I'm still expecting big things. So at the end of year number 2, this is not the expectation I had for this season. But boy, oh boy, the things turn around very quickly. Wow, we have literally... I guess that's what happens when you throw the Chiefs playbook on. Holy moly. We went from 5-12 to 14-3 with a rookie quarterback. So we had Zaven Collins lead the league in interceptions, or at least tied for it. Jair went to Miami. He did get released today as I'm recording this, by the way, literally this morning. Lenora Sellers led the league in passing yards. And then Bernard led the league in receiving yards and maybe even in touchdowns as well, as far as receiving touchdowns are concerned. What a turnaround this ended up being. I was not expecting this very quickly. Offensively, first in the NFL. Now, on the defensive side of the football, we were 60 in the NFL. So we had 44 and 17 from Lenore Sellers as a rookie, 6 touchdowns, 840 yards from Trey Benson. You had Bernard with 20 touchdowns, 1,400 yards, 1,100 from Marvin Harrison, 900 from Michael Wilson, 900 from Trey McBride, 300 from Trey Benson. And then sacks-wise, Walter Nolan, as we saw, was really good, 6.5 sacks, 6 from Sweat, 4 from Zaven Collins, and then he also had 6 interceptions and on top of that. So what a season, man. We don't even have to play wild card weekend. We have a bye, which is pretty wild. I mean, I guess I should have expected it with running the Chiefs playbook, but I've not always had that much success that quickly. We get to play another NFC West team. So we get the Niners, who barely made the playoffs. So we may be punching our ticket to the conference finals, conference championship, probably should be saying, if we're able to beat our fellow division rivals. So let's go see if we can do that, because what a turnaround this season was. Holy. The Brock Purdy versus our boy Lenora Sellers here. This is looking pretty good for us as long as we can take down our fellow 8-9 team, our fellow 8-9 division rival. But so far, we look like frauds at this point because we are not moving the ball at all. Man, are we frauds right now? Or we're gonna get back in the game. So we're frauds, dude. We are such frauds. Wow. Okay, so we go 14-3 to lose 15-6 in divisional. We put up 6 points and we were the best offense. That is not great. That sucks really badly. So very disappointed by that result. But that, I guess, gives us more, pressure to go make this team better. So we'll probably try to make the offensive line absolute elite, make our offense better there. We have all the weapons we could ask for. I think Benson was fine at running back for what he was able to do. And then defensively, we'll try to make them better as well. But man, what a disappointment. That was a very promising season, just comes to a terrible ending. I guess the positive part is and the Niners did go on to win the Super Bowl, by the way. So I guess maybe we shouldn't be too discouraged potentially. But yeah, that was disappointing. We also beat out the Eagles for the 1st seed and just to lose to the 7th-seeded Niners, who did win the whole thing, I guess. So maybe we shouldn't be too mad at ourselves. But $166 million in cap space, so a ton of money to work with. But the plan is to keep everybody and, of course, try to add on top of all of what we have already. So this should be pretty easy, I think. So Baron Browning, I'm going to try to keep you as well, even though you're just kind of burying the depth chart right now. But still. And then I guess after that, I mean, we're going to try to replace our right tackle, try to build our defensive line a little bit better. So I think it's fine to move on from everybody else. Let's go see what free agency has in store for us, as we have 150 M's to work with. So we should have all the avenues in the world to make this team better. So let's take a look at, to see what we truly need. I know we have a guard and a left tackle and a center. That's about it. We also have another guard that we could be Zach Rice, superstar dev, and then McBride, superstar. I mean, look at this, man. Harrison, Wilson's 84, Bernard's a superstar dev, McBride, superstar dev. So this is looking great. So our offensive line basically has a guard. We need a guard and a tackle, basically, is what we truly need. So that's the plan. Now, Sellers only being star dev is criminal, in my opinion, after the season he just had, but whatever. We'll just have to deal with that. Defensively, Samuel ended up being good for us, and then Sweat, Buda Baker. So I think the main focus is building this defensive line a little bit better. That would be helpful. So we're going to try to do that. Let's see if there's anything in free agency for us to go for. But man, what a season we just had. So let's build on it through free agency and maybe even trade avenues as well. So unfortunately, free agency isn't anything special, but one thing we are doing is we are absolutely giving Zach Tom an absolute bag, and we're also going for Javon Hargrave to just add another veteran on the defensive line. So Zach Tom obviously would give us the right tackle we are seeking. Hopefully he does sign with us. It's been a while since I've ever gotten him, and he does sign with us. Hargrave is being contested by the Titans, and he does choose other avenues, which is fine. I also went for Pacheco. I gave him a big contract, but he had no interest in coming here, unfortunately. So there were some other options too, but I definitely feel great about walking away with the best tackle in the free agency class because we said we wanted to build this offensive line a little bit better, and we did just that. So the main thing we need to walk into the draft with is, building in the trenches. We need to go for a guard. We need to go for defensive tackle, and that's basically it. Everything else, I'm just going to leave the way it is right now. So let's go after those 3 positions in this draft. Let's make sure we nail those picks, and we should be golden going into next season. We get to pick at number 28 overall, so let's go ahead and see if we get one of those 3 positions to fall to us. I imagine there's at least one way we could address it to start things off here. So we did have a couple of D tackles already go off the board with the Jags and the Raiders taking them, but let's see what else we maybe have at our disposal. So we have Williams out of Nebraska who fits the scheme, and then we got Simmons and Malik Agbo. So 2 guys that I definitely would like as well. I mean, we probably have to move them into guard. So who do we rather have? Do we want the guy opposite right now of our boy, Walter Nolan, or do we want an offensive lineman? I'm going to go ahead and take Williams here to start to address this defensive line a little bit. So 61 true value, but 80 speed gives us a guy opposite of our boy Walter Nolan right now. So I like that. We still need to get a man in the middle, but not a bad start. So round 2, we're going to see if there is a guard to potentially be taken here. So we have a quarterback still on the board. Okay, Gabriel Brownlow-Dendy. Such a W name, or we can go Jamarius Brown at Ole Miss or Vic Burley. So either way, or we can go Javon. So I do think, very cool names, but I think I'm going to go Jamarius Brown here, and this gives us exactly what we need here. So that's done, and we'll be feeling good about that, although he's hidden dev. His rank wasn't as great, so maybe we should have went with the other guy, but feeling okay about it. At least he's a hidden dev. And then pick 92. Let's see what we got on the board. Hopefully we get a good guard and we should be fine. Although we do have a hidden dev guard right now, I will say. But we have Chase out of Texas A&M. We'll go ahead and draft him so he can compete with the other young guard that we have. So this will be where we go with this. His grades actually look pretty decent as well, so maybe he's ready to start immediately. He's 129 true value, hidden dev, so not bad. All right, let's go take a look at the lineup going to year 3. Year 2 was special. Came to a disappointing ending, but we're looking to bounce back off of that. Maybe we secure the first seed again. We'll see. That was a dream scenario. See if next year has in store for what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and take a look at this lineup going into year number 3. Obviously, last year, as I keep saying, was super special. We're looking to have that again. So it looks like the guards that we have are much better than what we have right now, but we're still going to go ahead and start the hidden dev guy over the normal dev guy, obviously. So the weapons are looking good. Obviously, we'll leave the playbook and the scheme the same. We're not going to touch anything because things went really well last year. Williams and Brown, and we got McDonald as well. So it looks like we've addressed the D-line in a big way. So that's great. All right, I'm expecting big things this year. We'll see if we have a repeat of last year, and I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. So we literally just had a repeat of last year as we went 14-3 again. Are the stats still the same? Sellers was still really good again, leading the league in passing yards, but wasn't the same for I guess Germani or Bernard, and then of course David Collins was here, but not quite here this time. So let's take a look at the stats. Offensively, weren't the first best offense, but the second best. So still a really good offense like we were last year, and still a really good defense. So 43-6 brings down the interception, which is great. We need a better playoff masterclass, obviously. 760 yards, 4 touchdowns from Benson. This is the one thing I will say. Our run game isn't anything special, but Benson is fine. McBride, Michael Wilson, Harrison, and then Bernard almost had 4 guys within 1,000 yards, which is great. Sacks-wise, you had 14 from Nolan, who continues to be excellent in this video. 8 from Josh Sweat, 7 from the Rook as well. And then interceptions, 3 from Phillips, and then, just 1 for a few other guys. Okay. Let's go ahead and get to the divisional again. Let's see who it is this time around. We lost last year in embarrassing fashion, so hopefully this year things are different. We get to play the... Did I just simulate the same season as last year? Because we just went 14-3 again. We're literally playing the 49ers again with the same record. They went 8-9 last year too. It's almost like I just replayed the clip for you or something, but I didn't. Here we are. It'd be funny as hell. No, it wouldn't be if we lost 6-15 again like we did last year. This time around, that doesn't happen. Hopefully not anyway. The divisional matchup, same as last year. Hopefully the result will be different. So let's go ahead and see how this is about to turn out. So we start off with the football, and we don't score, but we get a big interception from Mac Wilson, and we don't score off the turnover. They get another turnover. So it's 7-0. So far, this game is going much better than last year because we at least have 7 points. We only had 6 last year. We're up 14-3. We get a big interception from Murphy Bunting, and we're up 17-3. So things are looking great. They do score, but there's probably not enough time remaining for them to get the ball back. So that is going to be a better result than last year, which is what we were looking for. So a 17-10 victory over the Niners in divisional, and now we get to head to the NFC Championship, which is beautiful. Sellers were really good. Brock Purdy, not so much this time. I love it. I'll take it. Let's get to the NFC Championship game. And now it is NFC Championship time against the Green Bay Packers. So as I mentioned, they made headlines this morning as I'm recording this. They released Jair Alexander. So that's interesting. We'll see where he ends up. Maybe do a video on him when he signs somewhere if he does. But all right, let's go ahead and simulate the NFC Championship game back in Arizona as we're up 7-0. Defense playing pretty well so far until that point. And now we're up 14-7. We need our offense to play really well. There's 21 seconds left in the second quarter. We're at our own 35. I want to see if I can't steal a score here before this half is over. Then that would really put us in a nice position to just go out here and win this game. So let's see if we can make something happen here. Okay, that was risky. I'm so lucky that didn't work out. I'm so lucky that didn't, or I guess I'm so lucky he didn't intercept that is what I meant to say. That was risky, and I should have never thrown that, but whatever. Risk takers is something, or being a risk taker is what I love to be. I'm going to throw Marvin Harrison a ball, and oh my gosh, that felt like that should have been completed, but nice play by that defender. Okay, well, we have maybe one more shot at getting a first down. If not, this game goes to halftime. No issues unless the Packers, maybe find a way to get something quickly, but I don't see that happening, but we'll see. So, Okay, just don't tackle him. Just don't tackle him. There's 1 second left. Just make the tackle. Okay, we get out of here unscathed. So I was about to say, I didn't want to tackle him with clock remaining, so it's 14-14. And did they just start off with Madden, did you just start them after the half with good field position like that? That was weird. Okay, so let's jump in and try to clutch this up because we're at the 13-yard line. Let me play better than we just did. But I think Madden just started them with good field position after the interception after the half. I could be tripping, but it kind of looked like it. So I'm going to run the ball since we have 2 timeouts left. And we're going to get inside the 1, which is what I wanted. We're going to go no huddle, so that way there's like no clock remaining when they get the ball back. So I want to go inside zone again. We have 2 timeouts, so we might as well not rush this because we can get the Super Bowl if we play our cards right. And Benson did not go over the goal line. Really shocked by that. So we can afford to run the ball one more time, which I'm definitely going to do. So goal line, but Benson, I'm going to trust you to get in. Need our offensive line to hold up, and they will get in, or we will get in. So 8 seconds left. That should be all she wrote, and hopefully they don't find a way to score with whatever. Whoops, I meant to just play all offense at this point. So that's it. So 20-24 victory. We won in the NFC Championship game, although that was weird that I threw an interception, and I think after the half was over, they literally started from where they picked the ball off and scored quickly. So shout out to Madden for that, but that's my fault for throwing that terrible ball. I tried to throw it downfield and I got hit as I threw it. But all right, let's go ahead, get to the Super Bowl. So here we are in the Super Bowl as we get to play the Buffalo Bills. So let's go ahead, jump into this bad boy as they'll go up 3-0. Hopefully we can match that, or I guess 7-3 is even better. So they're going to get another field goal. It's 7-6. 6-7, and so far, okay, so I was about to say, got a little bit stagnant there, but we will tie at 14-14. We have the ball back, 2 minutes left on our own 5. So let me jump in here and see if we can get ourselves at least in field goal range with a tied game. Now we're at the 5. We have the 2-minute warning coming up, so I'm just going to run the ball to start things off. Oh my gosh, what a gain. I didn't think that was going to go very far at all, but he's averaging 5 yards a carry technically right now, so not a bad way to start things off. I'm going to continue to run the ball, though, until we have a little bit more space. So hopefully I can get a nice block here for 63. Oh my gosh. Oh man, maybe I should have... I mean, I think I would have been tackled by the safety anyway, but yeah, that's the space we're looking for, so I'm glad we got that. So we're going to go ahead and start to throw this ball now downfield a little bit. So let's see what they decide to do here. So I'm just going to go McBride over the middle. And we're going to just get a little bit closer and closer and closer as much as possible until, obviously, we are in field goal range. And then they have to, obviously, start wasting those timeouts. All right. Again, I'm just going to go McBride over the middle. And he's going to make another big catch at the, or we're literally at the 50-yard line. So that's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and now slip screen them. And let's see if they're ready for the slip screen. So they're not ready for it. And I'm going to get rid of it. But unfortunately, did not go far. 2nd and 9, 39 seconds left. I'm going to continue to just bleed this clock. We're going to go empty cross, and we're going to hike this immediately. We're going to try to get a big gain here with 22 seconds left because I want them to have no time remaining. So McBride is going to get us in field goal range. That's what we wanted. We'll call our first timeout. Okay, 16 seconds left, and now we'll just run this ball until we have no timeouts left, and we'll see if the Buffalo Bills start to waste theirs or not. I'm going to assume they won't, but we'll see. Let's just get closer if we can. So another nice run. Going to make the kicker's job much easier. So we'll call one more timeout, and I'll run the ball one more time, and we'll call it, call our kicker to go on the field, Chad Ryland, to win this thing for us. Okay, so let's run this ball again. Nice blocks. Just going to gain a few more yards, nothing crazy. We'll call our last timeout left with like 2 seconds remaining. So timeout. Okay, now the Bills are going to ice us, obviously, which we will expect. But as long as we nail this down the middle, we should be good. So there's the ice. That's what we expected. Okay. Timeout, Buffalo. Let's see if we can nail this kick even with the ice happening. I have a feeling we will. Although I have seen some crazy ices before. But I think we're good here. So let's just see. That should be down the middle. Should be the winner. And just like that, we're going to win the Super Bowl 17-14 with the Arizona Cardinals. Honestly, I didn't expect that quick of a turnaround once we traded away Kyler Murray. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a project, but going 14-3 back-to-back years was pretty crazy, but I'll absolutely take it. So that's a beautiful way to end this video. These rebuilds as of late, man, have been very quick Super Bowls, honestly. Really, the simulation's really going our way, which has been awesome. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.